Well, hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Today's Wednesday, May 22nd, and this is our Team Prosperity Virtual Financial Wednesday Team Training. We are so very excited to have Renee here with us today from Transamerica. I can't wait to hear the training and learn more. And I'm actually going to go ahead and let her present first, because I know how valuable, everybody's time is. And Renee, I believe you're still unmuted. Do you want to try to talk and see if we can hear you?
Sure. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, I hear you perfectly. Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and give you presenter control. And,
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so it should prompt you to download some controls, and then we'll be able to see whatever you have to share with us on your side.
Okay. Let's see. It's running it, so just a second.
Okay, perfect. Well, you take your time. And again, I appreciate your time, and thank you for being here to train us. We're very excited to hear all about, the new developments. And when you share, you're going to probably share all. That way we can see whatever's on top of the desktop as well.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so do I select all mobile PC display? Select all?
Yeah, you want to select all, exactly.
Okay. All right.
All right, perfect. So I can see your screen.
Okay.
All right, go right ahead. We see life is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself out. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And I'm very excited. And this is the first time that I've had the opportunity to speak to Team Prosperity. So I just want to, thank Mike and Alana for allowing me to join the call today. My name is Renee Thompson. I'm the Regional Vice President with Transamerica. And I actually cover about 14 states on the East Coast, from Maryland, Virginia, kind of catty corner all the way over to Alabama and down to Florida. So I have the opportunity to be able to work strictly with WFG agents and helping train and provide assistance with all the Transamerica products that we have, and as far as underwriting and our annuity business. So I wanted to just take some time today and give you, since it's the first time that I'm actually on the call, I do want to go through some websites just to make sure everybody is aware of all the health learning tools that we have at Transamerica. And then I'm going to take a few moments and just give you a quick brief of the FFIUL, what makes Transamerica different in the marketplace, and then an update on our new annuity that we just rolled out on March 25th. So first off, the website that you're looking at right now, this transamerica.com, I know that we get a lot of questions from clients and a lot of new agents. Who is Transamerica? What's Transamerica's history? What do we actually invest the money in? So when your clients pay in premiums, whether it would be into the annuity or to any of the life insurance products, where does the money go? What do we do with it? So this website, transamerica.com, this actually will provide all that information for your clients or for you. You do not have to have a log on to get into it. But so if you go to this Why Transamerica and about us and the financial strength and our history, I know most of you probably have heard the history that we started back in 1904. Our founder, A.P. Giannini, actually started a bank called called Bank of Italy, and then during 1906, during the earthquake of San Francisco, he went out, had a different idea to help pretty much anybody instead of helping the wealthy with loans and financial solutions. And then once that grew, built into an insurance company. And from there, we actually grew with the bank and Transamerica, we had to make a decision to split. The government said that we had to pick one or the other, so the founder chose to stay with life insurance and with all the retirement solutions as an insurance company instead of a bank. So that broke off to what is now called today Bank of America. So I just wanted to give you a brief background, but all that information is why Transamerica on the history. And then if you're looking for, anybody's curious, your clients are curious about our background as far as our financial strengths, you can go to the Financial Strength tab, and it actually starts at the top with our parent company, Aegon, which they're located in the Netherlands, and they purchased Transamerica back in 1999. We merged with WFG in 2001, so we're all under the Aegon umbrella. But here, starting at the top with the Aegon fact sheet, this will actually give you or your clients a breakdown of all the information about, for example, the Americas, how many claims we pay out a year, the background, the history also. But if you actually want to get into details, depending on the specific company, we do have a breakdown. So we can go to the Transamerica Life Insurance, which is our term and LV products. Our Transamerica Financial Life, that is our New York product. So we do have to file for a different company in the state of New York. And then Transamerica Premier, which is our IUL, which is really our flagship product. But I just wanted to point this out. So if anybody, any of your clients are wanting to know what our strengths are and where that money goes, you can click on whichever company you're interested in finding out. And then you'll see here at the bottom, it actually gives you a breakdown of where all of our assets, what we do with the money when it comes to Transamerica, how we invest. And most of you know that Transamerica is a conservative company. We've been around for over 100 years, and last year alone, just did 1 year with all of the products that we have under the Transamerica umbrella. We paid out over $56 billion with a B, $1 billion in 1 year. So this is why you'll see that our investments are very conservative. We need to make sure that we continue to be around for another 100 more plus, and that we can pay out on all the promises to our clients with all the claims and our annuity guarantee payouts for life. So all of that obviously helps us make sure that we take on the right risk and we actually keep our balance sheet able to pay out. So I just wanted to point this out first. The next website is our tld.transamerica.com website. This, if you're starting out or if you've been with WFG for a while and you'd like to find out some more information about Transamerica, this website was built specifically for WFG. You do not have to have a license. You do not have to be appointed. You can just go to tld.transamerica.com. And this actually will give you from really the beginning of how WFG and Transamerica sets up, or how, as far as the commission payouts, what's different about WFG firm compared to everybody else, and then also the process, the products, all of the tools that you need. So everything is on this website. And just to show you a couple pieces, so on the first app to paycheck, it talks about learning about commissions and how to get paid faster. Just as a quick reminder for those of you that are new to this industry, with WFG, what is different is when you actually submit an application, you go through that IGO system, which stands for In Good Order. So as long as all of the questions are answered, your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted, WFG actually pays you 40% of the commission up front. And then when you have the policy that's officially approved and delivered, you get the full 60%, which is extremely different in the industry. The majority of firms out there, I've been in the business for over 18 years, and I've had the ability to work with pretty much all other financial firms, and WFG is the first firm that I've ever personally worked with where you actually, as an agent, you get paid your full commission. Normally what happens in the industry is that if your client pays monthly on a life insurance policy, you as the agent get paid monthly commission. So it's very different at WFG. They want to make sure to take care of you as the agent, and that's where, as far as Transamerica, the partnership with WFG, we are able to pay you upfront ahead of time. So all that information is here about your commissions, but I do want to point out over to the right-hand side, the Transamerica Underwriting Guideline, Long-Term Care Guideline. All of this information will give you, or all of these guides will give you pretty much anything that you need to know about Transamerica behind the scenes and what we're looking for. I'm sure most of you know with life insurance, you have to go through that underwriting process, and we have to make sure that we're taking on good risk. But the underwriting guideline, long-term care, tells you exactly, as far as the ratings for particular clients, their background, their medical condition, what they will be rated, if they can actually get insurance with us, or if they can apply for long-term care. So all that information is here. Also, juvenile covered guidelines. This information, so we at Transamerica, we do feel that making sure, and providing coverage for juveniles is part of protecting families. And we just updated our juvenile guidelines yesterday. So you are the first team to hear about it. We've not updated on our website. But for juveniles in the past, we had required that one parent has double the insurance for a child. So, for example, if the child wanted $250,000 of coverage, then either mom or dad, not both, but either mom or dad would have to have $500,000. So yesterday we just changed those rules. If you're looking for a juvenile policy with a maximum of $250,000 or below of life insurance, we no longer require the coverage or proof for the parents. If you are wanting over $250,000 of coverage for juveniles, we still have that same rule. But we did change that before. It was just across the board. Parents had to have double, but we just changed that yesterday. So you are the first ones to hear about that. I've not actually spoken to any of the other teams regarding it. So that's good news for us. That way we can actually help out more juveniles. We know a lot of times the parents may not be able to get insurance, or they want to actually cover the children. So we did change those rules. This Transamerica Underwriting Tips and Facts. We've got a lot of questions sometimes about submitting business with Transamerica and how can we get this process through faster? How can we get it through? How can we make sure from the time we, submit the business to we get it, that it's, 2 to 4 weeks out the door? This underwriting tips and facts, we actually had our underwriting department sit down and give us the information of how to get it through. So all that is here if you want to, kind of follow up or find out exactly what the underwriters are looking for. On this video spot, if you would like to take some time and learn about how to run our software, illustration software, any of our products, there are, at your own leisure, you can walk through the videos and learn about the products and learn about the software training. Tools for Success, this just helps you if you want to order material, which is through WFG eStore. This also gives you just a breakdown of all of our websites that we have out there, and then how to click on or how to get to our illustration system. Know our products. So this is what's going to be the most important, to me, the most important tab on here. But this will give you a breakdown of pretty much every product we have. And I also want to point out here on the right-hand side, Transamerica last year, we partnered with MIT Age Lab, and we've really had a focus, our marketing, our push at Transamerica is we believe that your health and wealth matter. So we have created several marketing pieces, several campaigns, information to give to your clients. If you're doing seminars, we can help you with the health and wealth side as far as marketing on that, on the seminar side. But here's just some of the information that we have available. And then here on the product, one thing I would like to point out is this Insurance 101. I know starting out in this industry, agents have a lot of questions about what's the difference between a guideline premium test or a CVAT when you're running the illustration. How does a 7-pay work? When do I use level and when do I use an increasing death benefit? So all of that information is here. These are about 2 pages, just a front and back, and it's a great explanation, very simple, gives you some examples of how to understand, when you should be using it, how they work, and what's going to benefit your clients the best. So that information is under Know Our Products. And then for the Index Universal Life, I would say one of the best pieces that we use, that I know agents use in regard to talking about the IUL, is actually showing the return, so the index account at a glance. We did update most of our marketing, so we now have several different languages for our pieces. You can see that is available here. The IUL client guide is here. We did update also the living benefits for clients. So all that information is available. This is obviously all for your clients. And then for you as the agents, the IUL agent guide, long-term care. We have a lot of questions between the difference between chronic and long-term care. So everything, is here at your fingertips as far as the LTC tax guide, explaining why we send out a 1099 to your clients, when is it taxed, when is it not taxed. So all of that is here for you to review just at your fingertips, so you don't have to go on, different websites and try and search for it. And then our fixed index annuity that we just added, all that information is here, and this actually gives you an explanation of how to get appointed with Transamerica. Our annuity is still processed by Crump, but to get appointed, you actually have to go through the WFG website, and you want to log on, and it's actually you're getting appointed through Transamerica first, and then we submit that to Crump. So that is a little bit different on the licensing side with the annuity. But all the information for the product is here. We are the only firm right now on the WFG platform that actually has a 5-year product. I think the shortest that I've seen is 7 or 9 for WFG agents. So we are the first one to come out with that 5-year and to have that approved. And I'll get into that in just a moment. But also webinars. So for those of you that would like to take a deeper dive, we do have our national calls, and we get into, running illustrations. If you are in the market where you're working with business owners, we do have that training that's also available, that you'll see everything that, all the different training sessions or webinars that we have. This is updated monthly. If there is anything that any of you on the call, any suggestions of any type of additional training that you would like to hear, by all means, please let me know. We're always looking to, help you as the agents and provide any type of additional training or any information that we can give to you to help you grow your business. So that is here under webinar. I just wanted to go over this first off. To me, starting with WFG and looking at Transamerica, this is the best website to go to. Like I said, it pretty much answers everything that you're looking for regarding the products. So as far as I'm going to get into the FFIUL. I want to make sure and give you an update of where we are different. We do have some additional changes that are going to be coming up in October with the product. But just to give you, a quick reminder with the IUL, I'm sure everybody on the call knows, but it is not invested in the market. You do get to you're choosing to follow a type of index. And then depending on what index, you're going to have, a different cap or floor with the product. But then it goes back to what I showed you before, is when your premiums come in, exactly where that money is invested. So it is not invested in the market, it is following the market. So just wanted to remind everybody, as far as the FFIUL, that it is not actually invested in the market. And just a little fact, the FFIUL was actually created in 2012. And we sat down at Transamerica, our product leadership team, plus the leaders at WFG, so all of the top leaders at WFG, sat down together in a room to come up with this product, which was based specifically on the target market for WFG clients. So we've had that FFIUL for since 2012. We've never changed any of the caps, the floors. Everything has been the same, and we are very proud of that. We've been consistent. I know with a lot of other companies, you'll see changes on the caps or rates of return. So, again, with FFIUL, we have been consistent. And I think that's because, working with WFG leadership, they helped us create this to make sure that it was going to be really kind of stick through the times and make sure that it focuses on that target market with WFG. But I wanted to just as a reminder for those of you who may not have seen this, but for WFG, I think this is extremely, everybody should be very proud of what WFG does. Last year alone, just with Transamerica, and we know that, on the WFG platform, you have over 100 product providers that you can choose from. But just last year, your partnership with Transamerica, you helped over 83,000 individual clients. So you helped them, protecting their families, setting up policies, providing long-term care, living benefits. And Transamerica alone paid out a total of over $142 million just in death benefit claims in 1 year, and that was only for WFG clients. So over $142 million of death benefit in 1 year. I know in the beginning I told you Transamerica had paid out $56 billion in 1 year. So, that is a WFG payout was a smaller portion. But, I think, again, just as a reminder, what's really important about your product provider is that they can pay out the claims, that, they're there and that they make sure they take on the right risk. So we know that we're going to be around to be able to pay out those claims for years to come. We also, last year, in 1 year, which to me this is really the most impressive number of everything on this slide, is that WFG actually issued over $23 billion of life insurance in 1 year. So when I say for all of you that, for being part of WFG, you should be proud, for a firm to actually be able to offer and protect over $23 billion of insurance in 1 year. That is, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable compared to all the other firms out there. So, you do follow through. You do focus on taking care of your clients and making sure that they have the right protection. And then, of course, last year, I think this is the fun number. And this is a great industry to be in. It's a great business. It's up to you as the agent how much you want to grow your business. But we do get paid for what we do. So last year alone, we actually cut a check to WFG for over $271 million in commissions in just 1 year. So this can be a very lucrative business. I know WFG as a whole, with all the products last year, paid out over $700 million. But, again, for us to pay out almost $300 million of that just in 1 year from one company, we are very thankful to be partners with WFG, with you, as far as being in this industry and helping you protect clients. And then a couple of the other numbers, just as a quick reminder, Transamerica, we serve over 13 million customers. We have over $424 billion of investments. And then we have over 8,000 employees. That was just as of last year. So I wanted to point this out. I just think, if you haven't seen this before, these are kind of some of the fun numbers just to see, for all of you to see exactly what WFG does every single year, and every single year this grows. The other thing I wanted to point out, so this is all of our websites that are available at Transamerica, and I can send this to Mike and Alana after, but I wanted to make sure, we have transamerica.com. We just went over. That's a client website. TLD is for you as an agent. We have Transact and Premier. Both are available for you as agent to help with your book of business, to go on and look at your book of business, and to be able to update and upload things for any of your outstanding case logs or cases in underwriting. We also have the transamericacenter.org, which is for agents only. This website has several different white pages, lots of great information regarding statistics. If anybody's doing women and wealth, there's a lot of information regarding women in retirement on that website. Also about retirement in general, where we are at the U.S. with saving our money and where we're lacking. So just great tool to have. Also, I wanted to point out, so if regarding new business, I know a lot of times you do try to upload any missing documentation to the websites, whether it be a Transact or Premier. But I want to make sure everybody does have this email address. So this goes directly into new business also. So if you have any issues where the upload's not going through, or if you just want to automatically send an email for your cases, you can go to this WFG Transamerica new business at transamerica.com. Just put in the policy number in the subject and then whatever is outstanding, and that goes directly into our queue also. And I find sometimes it's a little bit easier, if you try to upload it and we can't receive it or we can't seem to read it, it's much easier just to email it into WFG or to the website. But I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware that we have all these different websites. Again, it's just another way for training, another way to contact Transamerica and make it a little bit easier with our products and our underwriting. So back to the FFIUL. With the FFIUL, I'm sure everybody has heard that we did add the living benefits, so the critical, chronic, plus the long-term care is now available on the FFIUL. Base IUL, still death benefit first and foremost, but with the IUL, everybody should remember that this is a long-term strategy. It's not something where, like a bank account, where you put your money in and you can take it back out in a year or two. The whole idea is to leave this for a while, long time, to let the money grow, be able to make sure that you're getting that return based on the index that you've chosen. And then we also have the guarantees, which I talked about before, the floor with life insurance. It is tax-free to your beneficiaries, and as long as the policy remains in force, any withdrawals or loans that come out will be tax-free, which is what most clients are very interested in. We're tired of paying taxes. When it comes to retirement, we want to be able to have some type of solution where we can pull out our money tax-free. So with the IUL, we have two separate index accounts that are available. So we have the domestic, which is the S&P, and then we have our global. With the global, I would say at Transamerica, about 99% of the contracts that come in go into the global. And the reason being, as you can see, it really has its own asset allocation and it's diversified. We do everything for you. We do everything for the client. You do not have to worry between these indices which one's going to have the highest return and which ones to pick for your clients. What we do is, say if your client puts money in on January 1st of 2019, at the end of January 1st of 2020, we're going to take a look between the euro, which is just the top 50 companies in the euro market, and then the S&P 500. Whichever indice returns the highest account or highest return, then we will credit 50% based on that return, 30% on the other, and then we always have 20% in the hang seng. And so I know most of us know that, as far as usually what happens in the markets, if the foreign markets are up, U.S. is down, vice versa. So this way, you pretty much have it covered. So you're going to be able to receive gains on either option, no matter if it's foreign or the U.S. market. With the caps and the floors. So, I said in the beginning that we've not changed any of our floors or caps since we've had the contract, which is, again, very shocking in the industry. Most other companies have made changes. But with the global, the cap is 15%. The S&P is 13.75. And then our floor, so the worst case scenario is 0.75%. I know that a lot of us, a lot of our clients have, several places they can put their money. They can put it in banks with CDs or your savings accounts, your checking accounts, and you're getting a very, very small rate of return, usually still below 0.75%. And then, of course, you have your stock markets where, sky's the limit with the return. But if the stock market, you invest in the stock market and the stock market crashes and it's negative 30%, you lose negative 30% in the stock market. So that's why, and really this solution, a lot of clients like the Index Universal Life products because there is the cap, but there's the floor, and most people are okay if they get the 15%. But when everybody else is losing, they still get that credit of 0.75, which is still beating those bank accounts. We do have a basic interest account. That guaranteed amount cannot go below 2%. It is currently paying 3%. So if, for example, you have clients that are starting to get a little worried about the market and they do not want to follow one of the indexes for a time, then they can always move their money into the basic account. Instead of getting that 0.75%, they're going to get whatever is the account is currently paying, which I said is 3%. So there's always an option for your clients within the FSIUL if they want to move their money. We do have a guaranteed death benefit built into this product. It is not a death benefit guaranteed for life, but if your clients are paying the minimum no lapse premium, which is really actually just the bare minimum for this policy, basically you're covering the fees. So everybody, when it comes to the IUL contract, everybody should be paying overfunding, paying the target or more to make sure that that money is able to grow. But as long as that monthly no lapse premium is paying, there is a guaranteed death benefit depending on your issue age. As you can see, 0 to 45 is 20 years, 46 to 60 is up to age 65, and then 61 to 85, there's a 5-year guarantee. So that's built into the contract. And so, base product, base, pretty simple. Again, it's a death benefit life insurance contract, goes tax-free to beneficiaries as long as it stays life insurance. You get to pull out your money tax-free as far as income and withdrawals or loans. And then you also have the opportunity to have that the index return based on whichever your client is wanting to follow or mirror. And then there's also that no lapse guaranteed death benefit that's built into the contract. And really where Transamerica stands out is because we did add these living benefits. We are actually currently the only company in the industry that has terminal, critical, and a true long-term care rider available on a permanent cash value product. So you're going to have companies out in the industry that will have a terminal, chronic, and living benefits, or you're going to have a company out in the industry that has just long-term care, that there is no other company out in the industry that has both on a permanent policy. So we're very excited. We were very excited to add those. And I know that it's been, we've been getting a lot of buzz about it. And we're going to go through some of the statistics and just, reasons why it's very important to have these riders and just as a reminder how they work. But with the living benefits, if you just take a look at the statistics, every 42 seconds someone is diagnosed with a heart disease, every 40 seconds a stroke, and every 30 seconds a new case of cancer. 2030, direct cost of heart attack is nearly 110,000, and the costs are expected to double by 2030. 1 in 8 cancer patients delay or refuse treatment due to the high associated cost. Alzheimer's is the most expensive disease in the U.S., costing over $236 billion a year. So even though that we are living longer, I think everybody knows that there are a lot of medical conditions, and we have to have a lot of money out of pocket to be able to pay for those medical conditions. Even though we have health insurance, we still have co-pays, we still have deductibles, we have all of that. So anytime that you're actually diagnosed with a medical condition, just because you have health insurance does not mean that it's covered. You're still going to have to pay out of pocket. So with the our living benefits, the terminal illness rider, that is actually built into the contract. So once you apply for the IUL, that is part of the contract. With Transamerica, it was a little bit different, and we used to have the maximum used to be $500,000, and with our new, when we added the bells and whistles to the IUL, we did increase that terminal illness, so it's up to 1.5, maximum 100%. If you're diagnosed 12 months or less to live, once you go through and you submit the claim with Transamerica, everything goes through our medical doctor to review, then you can access up to 100% or the maximum of 1.5, which again is still a larger amount than most of our competitors out in the industry. I think most of them are actually maxed out at $750,000 up to $1 million. And just as a reminder to everybody with the terminal illness, we do allow you to take up to 100%. However, it's always a great suggestion to remember to keep a little bit of death benefit in the policy just in case. And what I mean by just in case is, a lot of times doctors may give us a death sentence of 6 months or 12 months or less to live, and they could be wrong. So with the terminal illness rider, we do remember that this is still life insurance. So if you take out the entire amount and there's nothing. So the policy is done, gone. And the client makes it. It's a miracle, and they make it. That is going to create a taxable event for the client. So that's why I always suggest, just as a reminder, keep a little bit, even if it's just $10,000 as a burial for the beneficiaries. Just keep a little bit in the policy in that situation. So terminal illness is pretty cut and dry, but with Transamerica, what really has made us stand out in the industry is this critical illness rider. So with a critical illness, if you're diagnosed with any of the illnesses you see on the screen, heart attack, stroke, cancer, and we actually added, so we now have 13. I just haven't updated the slide yet, but we do have about 13. We did add AIDS, nervous disease, neuron central disease, so we have several other illnesses that now apply. But if you're diagnosed with any of these, then you can accelerate up to 90%, maximum of $500,000 of the death benefit on the FFIUL. And when I say you can access, that doesn't mean that the client gets to make the decision. Transamerica will go through and we do underwriting. It's almost the same thing as when you apply. When you file that claim, we're going behind the scenes and we're really doing the underwriting again. So we're going to go back to the doctor. We're going to find out the history of the critical illness, and then we have our doctor, our in-house medical doctor, review that. And we are the ones that actually make the decision of up to 90% what that actual amount will be. The easiest way to explain this to clients, or I know a lot of clients want to know exactly what that payout's going to be. We can never ever know what the payout's going to be because it's based on the severity of the claim and the life expectancy. So we have no idea today if the client buys this policy, if they're going to be diagnosed with cancer, if they're going to have a heart attack, if they're going to have a stroke, and how that's going to affect their life expectancy. But what to keep in mind of how this works is the shorter the life expectancy, the more severe the claim, the bigger the check is going to be to the client. So if I have a client that is diagnosed with stage 1 cancer or stage 2 cancer, the client with stage 2 cancer is going to get a larger check because their life expectancy is going to be shorter than stage 1 cancer. So that's just the easiest, for those of you that are trying to figure out how we do this, that is the easiest really explanation. And again, we can't tell a client what they're going to get because we don't know when they're going to be diagnosed. So it's impossible to tell them what the actual number is. With the critical illness and the chronic, it is not a dollar for dollar deduction like the long-term care. So if I have a $500,000 death benefit, I have the critical illness, and let's say I have a very severe claim, my life expectancy is going to be short. So in that situation, just as an example, let's just say that Transamerica pays me a check. I can receive a check from my policy for $300,000. That $300,000 is not reduced from the $500 for dollar, meaning I'm going to have $200,000 left. We actually do a present day value calculation of that death benefit. So when we pay out a claim to you while you're alive, because it's an acceleration of your death benefit, we do a calculation of whatever the true cost or the true value of that death benefit is that day that we pay out the claim. So if I have a $300,000, if I receive a $300,000 check, my actual death benefit could be, remaining death benefit could be $50,000. And it's something, again, that we cannot tell the clients. We can't, there actually is calculations, and if anybody's interested, I can send that information to you. But there's no way for us to tell a client right now what the remaining amount is going to be until the claim happens. The only time that there is a charge for this rider or for the chronic is if the client actually receives and accepts the claim. So, for example, this does not affect your premium. It does not affect your cash value. But if I receive that $300,000 check and I say, yes, Transamerica, I'm going to take that $300,000 check. I'm okay with the $50,000 remaining to go to my family. I have a lot of bills. I need this money. I need to go, someplace else and try a different type of treatment. Then I do have to pay a $350 fee, and that's just administrative charge just for us to do all the work, pay out the claim, all of that. If I decide I do not want it, I don't take it, then I don't pay any fees for the claim. But with critical illness, I think one thing that's really important to remind everybody is a lot of people think long-term care, critical illness, why would I need critical if I've already got long-term care? It covers everything the same. It absolutely does not. If any of you have ever known anybody that has been diagnosed with cancer, most clients, most patients still can get up, dress themselves, bathe themselves, get to their appointments, do all of the above, which means they will not be able to file a claim for long-term care. But since they have this critical illness rider, they will be able to. So the only qualification is that they actually are diagnosed with one of those illnesses. And I always remind everybody having some money compared to no money. So with this critical illness, you're going to get, some type of payout. You don't know what it's going to be until you get your claim. But with a critical illness, you know that you do have another rider attached to this if you do not qualify for long-term care. So it's very important, to make sure that your clients do have this. If we do separate underwriting for this, so if your clients have any of the illnesses that you see already, they will be declined. So just, as a reminder, if somebody already has this, then we're not going to approve them for critical illness. So, and the other thing with critical illness is health care or your health insurance. For cancer, as an example, they usually pay for chemo and radiation, and that's it as a treatment. So there are a lot of clients, there are a lot of different treatments out there that are not covered by insurance. This is another way for them, if they have this critical illness rider, the money that they receive is their money. They can do whatever they want with it. They can go over to another country, try something experimental over there. Whatever they want to do, this is their money out of their policy. So it's just another benefit, that to me, I think it's extremely important to make sure every single time you apply for the FFIUL that your clients get this, as long as they can get through underwriting, as long as they can actually, apply for it. Chronic, I'm going to go through this quickly. I know we're getting short on time, but chronic illness, so chronic and long-term care, they are similar just in the actual qualifications, and that is it. So with the chronic or long-term care, if you can no longer complete 2 of the 6 daily activities of living or cognitive impairment, then you can qualify for long-term care plus chronic. They both have a 90-day elimination period. We just want to make sure that this is truly long-term care or a chronic illness. So you do have to be on the claim 90 days before we start paying out. But that's where the similarity stops. So with chronic, if you file your claim with Transamerica, you can receive up to 90%, maximum up to the death benefit of 1.5. Off of that calculation, there's another calculation that will let the client know exactly what they're going to receive annually, and that is up to 24%. So with the chronic, again, this is free, no charge. However, you have no idea until you file the claim what your severity is going to be and your life expectancy. So I always use the example, if you happen to fall down the stairs and break a hip, which it doesn't matter if you're, 18 or 120, falling down the stairs is something everybody can do. It could happen to anybody. So if I fall down the stairs, for example, and I shatter my hip, I qualify because I actually can't move. I can't do anything. But at my age of 42, if I actually have to have a hip replacement and I file the claim for the chronic, Transamerica is going to look at it and they're going to say, okay, what's the life expectancy with the new hip? And in reality, that's not going to change my true life expectancy. I'm just going to have a new hip, but I'm still going to live just as long as I lived before. Now, if I'm age 75 and I have to have a new hip, that is going to change my life expectancy because obviously the older we are, any type of surgery, especially with your hips, the ability of falling, chances of falling, that's going to change your life expectancy. So in that situation, I would get a much higher payout. But if it were me and I'm 42, I could get a minimum of $1,000 because it does not change my life expectancy at all. So that's where the chronic is a great rider to have because it's free, but if it's my personal choice, if I'm talking to a client, if it's between chronic and long-term care, I'm going to pick a long-term care every single time because I know exactly what I'm going to get with the long-term care, and it has absolutely no effect on whatever my claim is. But with the chronic, if you have clients that are younger that do not want to talk about long-term care, you can add this rider. It doesn't cost them anything. At least they do have that protection if something happens. So long-term care with Transamerica, to go through this quickly, what is different? With our long-term care rider, we do calculate the 2% or the daily HIPAA rate, which is currently $370 a day this year, which is what the government, IRS, says that we can use for long-term care without having to file receipts or pay taxes on. So we look at the lesser of the two. With our long-term care rider, what is different is that it is indemnity, which means once you qualify, once I can no longer complete 2 of the 6 or cognitive impairments, I file the claim with Transamerica. Once I'm approved, I receive the money, and that money is mine. So that's what an indemnity means. The indemnity means that I'm not sending in a receipt to be approved by the insurance company, and they tell me that they're going to pay it or not. It's just once I qualify, I get the amount, and then therefore I use the money if I want to have assisted living, if I want to have a nursing home, if I want to add a wheelchair, whatever it is that I need, I get the payout. That's my money. But what's different with Transamerica as far as the long-term care is that once you file the claim, your rider charges are waived. The policy is guaranteed not to lapse. However, you are not required to pay premium. Most other contracts, most other companies, long-term care, you still have to pay the premium while you're on claim. With Transamerica, you do not. And with Transamerica, if I buy, for an example, a $500,000 death benefit, and I use $250,000 for long-term care, when I come off claim, I didn't pay any premium while I was on claim. When I come off claim, I still have $250,000 left. We are going to recalculate your premium based on the remaining amount. So my new premium is going to be much less because I've already used $250,000 of my policy. So why would I still want to pay the total amount when I've already used it? So now my new premium is going to be calculated on the $250,000, which is very different from the rest of the companies in the industry. The other thing that's different is that if you purchase an increasing death benefit, which is just where you start out, for example, if you buy $500,000 of death benefit, if you buy increasing, you're putting money in the account. If your cash value grows to, let's just say you've had it for a long time, it grows to $200,000. You had a death benefit of $500,000. When you actually file your claim on an increasing, we're going to take your cash value plus your level death benefit, and now that's going to become one bucket. So we're going to calculate that 2% of your long-term care off of $700,000, which is also very different. So that's how we really have pretty much our built-in inflation rider. So that's, again, with Transamerica, those are the 3 things that are different as far as with our competitors is that you're not required to pay premiums while you're on claim. You have the opportunity to purchase an increasing death benefit, and that pays out on the entire bucket of your cash value plus your death benefit. And then you also have your premiums recalculated on whatever the remaining amount is when you come off the claim. The one thing I do want to point out is what we do not pay for long-term care. We will not pay for your family member to take care of you unless they are qualified. We've been in this business since late 1990s as far as long-term care, and we know exactly how much stress and what happens to our loved ones and our caregivers when we have them take care of us. So that's why we believe that if you buy the long-term care rider, you're buying it for a reason. You're buying it to make sure to have somebody qualified take care of you and not to put that stress on your family members. So unless they are qualified and that's their daily job and they want to do it, we will not pay for just your Uncle Jack who doesn't have any idea what he's doing to take care of you. We also will not pay as the result from alcoholism, drug addiction, suicide, felony, And we do not pay if it's outside the United States. So you do have to be here in the U.S. to file a claim and to receive long-term care. So I'm going to come up for a short breath. I know it's 12:50. I think we had about an hour. So I just want to check with everybody and see where we're at, see if there's any questions.
Thanks, Renee. And if anybody has any questions, please just go ahead and type them into the chat. Renee, hopefully you have access to that little chat bubble and you could see if there's been any questions for you. But phenomenal training. Thank you so much. Great stuff. I'll mute myself back if you want to finish up. You know, usually we run about an hour. So if you have more stuff, great. Like I said, I'll go back on mute.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to, I'm not going to get into the annuity because I know you have about an hour or so. But I do want to just quickly, just so you know, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but the annuity website, for those of you that are actually using annuities, our annuity website, if you want to find out any information about the new annuity, you go to secureretirement.com. This talks about the new index. We partnered with Morgan Stanley, and also I'm not for sure if any of you have heard of Nexus, but Nexus was the company that we actually helped build this product, and they're kind of the, I would say they're the index annuity gurus. They're the in-between between insurance companies and then, you know, as far as the fund managers to help create indexes or the indices for the specific annuities. So we did partner with the Nexus. But everything about the new annuities on the Secure Retirement, as I said before, it does go through Crump. But just to give you a quick where Transamerica is different. So with the annuity, first off, we do have that 5-year, and which is, you know, again, we're the only ones that are on the actual WFG platform with a 5-year. But what's different about our annuity is that we actually, in the first year, and this doesn't matter if you buy the 5, 8, or 10-year surrender product, with our annuity, you actually can put in as much money as you would like within the first year. So a lot of the index annuities, you can only do a one-time dump in, and that's it. With this annuity, you can put, again, as much as you would like to within the first year. Every time you put that money in, if you purchase a 5 or 8-year, there's a cash bonus of 0.25%. So, for example, those clients that might have CDs coming due and they're looking for some type of short-term tool besides a CD, with the index annuities, we really actually, you know, soars 0%. So it provides that protection. But with the majority of most index annuities, you're going to be looking really average between 4 to 6%. Sometimes you're going to have a higher rate of return. This is uncapped, but that's really, you know, the true average when you're looking at index annuities. So this does give clients more potential to, you know, get a higher return than a regular CD. But if they have a client example that has some CDs coming due, then they can put those CDs in that entire year. So if they have each of them coming due over a couple months, you could put those premiums in the entire first year and get your cash bonus. The other thing that's different is that we have 10% penalty free. That is actually on the gains also. That's annually. So that's very different. A lot of our competitors have 7%. It's just on the actual gross premium. But we have 10% that is penalty free, plus the gains each year. And we do have several strategies. So here's just a quick shot as far as, you know, some of the participation spread that we have in the 5-year. So if you do a 5-year point to point, you're going to get 140% participation, or you can choose 100% or 85%. And I wanted to get to the 10-year. The 10-year option is a 2-year point to point, 100% participation, 2% spread, 75 participation, 0% spread. But the premium on this, cash premium, is a 3% bonus. And with Transamerica, our minimum is lower than most of our friendly competitors. We do have a minimum of $10,000 to get in. And again, you get that bonus every single time you put money in for the entire first year. So if you're in that 10-year contract, you get a 3% bonus. We also have our guaranteed income rider. So a lot of these index annuities, clients that have 401k or qualified accounts, they've worked their entire lives to build and save that money. They know that that money is going to be income for them forever. So that's where these indexed annuities come in. I think they play a huge part in the market. Clients do not want to lose a dime of their money that they have worked so hard to protect over the years. So with the annuities, you're not losing anything. But when you add the guaranteed income rider, with Transamerica, our rider is a 10% simple interest growth for 10 years. So if you have a client at age 60 that has, let's say, a 401k of $500,000, you know that they're not going to take their money out until they have to at age 70 and a half because it's qualified. So that money, the $500,000 that they put in, they're going to get a 3% bonus of $515,000. Worst case scenario, it's going to grow 10% every year. At the end of their 10-year term at 70, when they start taking their income out, worst case scenario, they're going to have $1,030,000 to start pulling their guaranteed income. And based at age 70, then we are age banded. So at age 70, we'll calculate that 5.4% of whatever it's grown to. They receive that same amount every single year until the client passes away. So that's why these income riders are so important when it comes to especially qualified or those clients that don't have money in CDs or banks that they are saving that they're going to use for income forever. We do have that joint option. Remember Transamerica, I always tell everybody, I know that I can't see everybody, but with Transamerica, if you have those clients that have younger spouses, if they add the joint and they start taking their withdrawal, it is going to be based on the age of the youngest spouse. So if you've got clients that have a 10, 20-year gap in marriage, I would probably say the single is going to be a better payout instead of adding that joint. But with the joint, whatever that option is that they have, that payout that they receive is going to last for, if it's qualified, if the husband's qualified account, and he starts taking his income out and he passes away and he added the wife is going to continue to get that same amount as long as she lives. What's different with these annuities is this is not annuitizing like the old annuities. This is an actual income payout, a lifetime payout. So you are not annuitizing. Any money that's left, if something happens to you, you pass away, and any money that's actually left in the account, that does go to your beneficiary. It is an annuity, so it's taxed to the beneficiaries. But again, it's not like the old school annuities where the insurance companies keep the money. So the fee for this rider is 1%, which is taken out quarterly. It's taken out from your cash value. It does not affect your growth or your income bucket. But again, it's 1%. So really, I would say our target market with Transamerica is going to be those clients that are looking for a short-term surrender or short-term place to put money, CD, bond, alternative for the 5-year. And then those clients that are looking for, they know 100% that they need income. They are worried that they're going to run out of income in retirement. This is going to be the solution for them. With the annuity, we also have a nursing home waiver. So if you go into confinement, we waive the CDSC on it. And then we also have an unemployment rider. So if you or yourself become unemployed, there's a couple qualifications you have to have, but we also will waive the CDSC if you need to take your money out. And excuse me, quickly on the 5-year, the commission payout is 4.35. And then on the 10-year, the commission payout is 6.65. So right at 12:59, I just want to thank everybody. I know this is kind of quick, and hopefully I will be able to join you in the future. Eric Hahn is my virtual wholesaler, so he also is able to do these trainings. He's out. He just had his first baby, so he's out on maternity leave. But from all of us at Transamerica, we do appreciate your business and your partnership, and I'm very thankful I got to be on your call today. If there is anything that I can help you with as far as, any policies that you need help with, any questions, by all means, reach out to me. I know that Mike and Lana have my information, so just want to say thanks to everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Renee. What a wonderful training. And yes, you are welcome back anytime. We're bringing in a lot of new people, every month. So feel free to come back, you and Eric, or you by yourself, as much as you would like. We appreciate, all the great information. I took down, like a whole page of notes, really exciting stuff about the juveniles. And we really, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Thanks. All right. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to go ahead and close down the meeting. Great job, Renee, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thanks.